In this video, we are going to be unboxing and checking out this 1/18 scale Glacier super scale RC crawler from Easy RC. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Troy. This is Roadside RC. On this channel, you'll find me doing everything from bashing, crawling, drifting, racing, plus product review videos and how-tos. Today on the workbench, a first for me. I have never had anything from Easy RC. So getting their 18th scale, this is 4-wheel drive, ready to run, out of the box, super scale, which if you know, a lot of the times on the channel, I tend to do stuff more performance instead of scale. So this is reaching out in a little bit different variety for me. Really excited to get this thing out of the box, see what it looks like. Now, if I'm honest, I have never had an RC truck come out of the box looking like this. Look at this. It looks like a model. It doesn't look like, I mean, is it really RC? Really? I mean, check that out. It's in the plastic. It looks pristine. We got to get the knife, cut this open, and check out what it looks like. Look at that. That is staggering. I don't... So honestly, I am a little flabbergasted at this thing. I have never... I just never expected it to look this good. I mean, this is really surprising. You know, I mean, I expected it. The price point for this thing is just over $100. So I expected it to come in. I expected it to look a little cheap, a little chintzy. I didn't expect it to really have all that detail that it does. And it really surprises me, actually, how good this is. I mean, from the clear glass windows, the detailed interior, the whole full, I mean, literally full drop bed, ridged. The tailgate actually goes up and down on its own. It has a little latch so that when you bring it up, it actually latches. Full bumper back here. You know, we're looking at over here, the side, the mirrors actually have, the rearview mirrors actually have a little glass in them. The hood, when you open it, is where the battery goes, and you're looking at, of course, a completely not waterproof vehicle. So yes, not waterproof. Be careful with it. Completely exposed, but looking really awesome. I really want like a little engine cover in there. I want to be able to shove the battery back there and then have a little engine cover front grille here. I mean, it just looks amazing. We got the bumper. It looks like I need a license plate, don't I? I'm gonna have to buy myself a little Roadside RC license plate on this thing. On the bottom side, look, I don't even want to scratch it. Look, I'm gonna have to get a towel. I'm gonna have to get a towel here because I don't want to scratch the dang paint job, because it looks just amazing. I mean, have you seen how mean I am to my crawlers and how much I tear them up? And look at how pristine this thing is. I am definitely gonna be putting this coating to the test to see how strong it is as I drive. So on the towel, so we don't scratch it, what we see here on the bottom, we see some nice scale tires. Very soft, actually. Very soft, but no foams. You can see absolutely no foam in there. But pattern is actually nice, and the compound is soft. We are looking at some nice flex in the rear due to the angle of the shocks and the links. It does feel like plastic drive shaft, both front and rear. We have the similar, pretty good steering angle, actually. If you look at that, that's actually going to do rather well. So I'm curious to see how that does once we get it fired up. I continue to see wiring for lights, both front and rear. You can see the small motor that we have there in the middle. They're not expecting this thing to go fast, not expecting it to have a bunch of power. Definitely much more on the scale look side. The non-oil filled shocks, so you definitely get some bounce. We're gonna see, of course, we'll mess with it and see what we can do to make that a little bit better. Look at this is nice. Now this is, of course, one of the things that everybody's gonna really want to know is how big is it? So here we have TRX4 sport typical 10th scale crawler. So obviously the Glacier at 18th scale, axial SCX 24. And one of the things that I think is really interesting is these two are basically the same price. Now obviously this is much more expensive, but when we talk about size, when we talk about ground clearance, when we talk about those type of things, so you can see the difference in that here. I mean, this 10th scale truck is literally, you know, we're talking, it feels like it's more than double the size. It feels just utterly massive compared to it. But, you know, when you're looking at it, it looks, you know, this is clearly in the middle of the 24th, 18th, 10th scale. You can see how that rolls out there. So anyway, a lot of folks are familiar with the 10th scale. A lot of folks are familiar with the SCX 24, so you can get truly an idea here of what that looks like and how big it is. So a couple of things that I note right away that I'm kind of questioning. The controller is nice, like it looks like it's going to do the thing, but honestly it is noticeably small for my hand. I actually hit on both the top and bottom here, so it's not very comfortable, and as I am curved around here, I feel the trigger finger is not very comfortable on the throttle or the brake. So this could use some improvement compared to what we were used to seeing with other vehicles that are roughly in this price point. The other item on here is the plug that it comes with. Yes, this is a low voltage application, so it can get away with a plug of this style. But if it came with something more like the traditional Dean's or T-plug style, something like this, if it came with more of this style, it would help me because many enthusiasts already have many batteries with this style on here already that we could use in this truck. It would be a little bit more convenient. But let's be honest, like the controller plug style, this is pretty small stuff so far. I can solder one of these on, take care of it from that side. And you know, depending on how crazy I get with upgrading this thing, the controller is probably going to go anyways. As we compare here again, still SCX 24 versus this, we actually notice they have the same hex size. So the cool thing about that is a lot of these wheels that are available out there already for the SCX 24, like these are the ones that I have from TopCAD, they will actually bolt right up. Now, of course, if you take a look at this, tire's a little short, right? But these RC four-wheel drive tires that I'm running are actually some of the shorter tires. So I think you could use SCX 24 1-inch wheels plus some of the like tallest SCX 24 tires that are available, and that would actually get you pretty close to the standard tire dimension on this truck and get you a nice upgrade right there available. So look at that. Hey, we're just doing the unboxing. Already got you a tech tip in there. Already got a potential mod in the works. And so that is nice. I will say the other good benefit here is the factory wheels appear to be a beadlock. You see those 4 screws here. So if we take those 4 out and blow this wheel apart, all we might need to do is just get the tires themselves, unless you just want the fancy of the upgraded aluminum wheel. I am charging up this battery, and then we're going to get out and give it its first run. Now check this out. So when you are on the gas, headlights come on, and then if you turn, you have turn signals. Oh man, look at that. Is that cool? Pre-wired straight from the factory with all that stuff. Let's see here. So if I go, we're accelerating and I turn. Alright, I don't have rear turn signals, but oh, when I back up, I get lights when I back up or hit the brake. Check that out. first run of the truck is complete. Look at that, came back in one piece. I did scrape up the body ever so slightly. It took a number of tumbles. I don't know if you can actually even see it in person. You can barely tell. Couple little scrapes there. Otherwise, the truck is actually in utterly great shape. I was really surprised. Even the tailgate never came open. So when I rolled it, when I crashed it, flexed it on stuff, it was very solid. I really, honestly, I fully expected this tailgate to pop open at some point. Maybe the hood to pop open. None of that did. It worked great. So the paint held up. Durability was good. Didn't have any issues with any of the electronics. All of that is still solid. I got some decent runtime out of it, especially because the battery was actually not even fully charged. I just yanked it off the charger and go drive it before it got dark, and it still did rather well. I never even ran it out of battery in all of that driving and all of that testing that you saw. Did it get hung up? Of course. I mean, it is a super scale crawler. So this thing's not meant to be, you know, comp crawler. It's not meant to go up every line. It's meant to be scale. And so that does mean that, yes, I rolled it over some. Yes, it does mean that it did get hung up. If I look, I will see scrapes on the rear bumper where it got hung on stuff. I have scrapes on here on both the pumpkins, it looks like. And I did hit the front bumper a number of times. But it's supposed to do that. It's a scale truck. It's not meant to be, like I said, comp crawler. It's not meant to go over everything. It's really, it adds a different aspect, a different level of challenge to it as you have to find your way around things and over things. So really quite a nice scale truck. And you got to admit, I mean, you got to remember, price point for this thing, just over $100, $125. Like that's really good crawler for that. And when you really think of its like core competition, that SCX24, I could really see a lot of folks who might actually really be better off with this truck than the SCX24. And I'll give you a great example. Actually, my own son. So my own son sees the SCX24 because so many people have them, wants one. And in all honesty, what he does with this thing the majority of the time is he drives it in the house as just like fun play truck. Now, can this truck take its place? It's a little bit bigger. It actually has a bed where he can put stuff in, the lights that work and everything on it that he really enjoys. That slightly bigger scale means it could probably go over a few more things, have a little bit more functionality than the SCX24. And they're the same price. So I don't know. I think the SCX24 has a competitor on its hands here, especially when you recognize that this also does come in some other body styles. And so, you know, you can pick your other body styles, the level of scale that you want, the other aspects that you want. You know, this is one of the body styles that has the most overhangs, that type of thing. They have some other ones I can link down below to the other trucks that they have. Like, honestly, if you're in the market, small scale, super scale looking model grade almost RC crawler, check out this one from Easy RC, plus the other ones that they have in their lineup. I'll put a link to the different ones all down below. They just came out with a whole lineup. I'll include all those in the link in the description down below. But I need to get working on this thing, right? So as with any crawler, you tend to find what? Like wheels and tires. If I can add a little bit of weight down low, and if I could put a little bit stickier of a tire on here, that'll help a lot, right? That'll help a lot for some of the stuff that I couldn't get up. If I could put any weight on the front axle, anything like that, whatever I can do to make this thing perform just a little bit better than it does now, you know I'm going to dig into that. That's what we always do with the trucks that we get. We're always going to dig into them and see what we can do to modify them. And so I'm going to get working on that and kind of formulating a plan for what I'm going to do. If I'm going to ask you to please come over here, check out some of the other videos that we've already made, whether it's crawling or some other different genre. And I really appreciate all the support that you give to the channel. I'm going to get to working, you get to watching some stuff, and we will see you in the next video. So thank you and goodbye.